gamers, for another video, and there are some big changes going on at Sonic Team and Sega, and it's starting to spell out some interesting things for the future of the series, potentially a pivot in direction. To quickly recap some of the news if you have not heard, Roger Craig Smith, the previous voice actor for Sonic, has now left after 10 years of voicing the character. It seems he was either let go or left on his own terms. It's kind of hard to tell. There's been a lot of reports going back and forth, and it's hard to tell from just the tweets, and we haven't got any information from Sega themselves if we let him go for this new voice actor, or if he just went on his own terms. But the point is, he's gone. We're getting a new Sonic voice. That news alone wouldn't be groundbreaking by itself, because we've had voice actor changes in the past for Sonic. We went from Ryan Drummond to Jason Griffith, then to Roger Craig Smith. So another change, while it has been a long time, and we've stuck with Roger Craig Smith for a whole 10 years, the change is not unheard of. What happens a lot less often is a change in writers. We have had the same writers for Sonic for about the same time as Roger Craig Smith has been working on Sonic. So Ken Pontac, one of the main writers for the Sonic series, was on a podcast interview thing with Rebel Taxi, and he was talking about writing for the series and how it's been, and trips to Japan and that sort of thing. And he said, it's been a good run.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great run, and there were a couple of trips to Japan. Oh my God, the trips to Japan.
Now, funnily enough, that's the same language that Roger used in his tweet when he said that he was no longer going to be voicing Sonic. So that's interesting, but also just the phrase itself, it's been a good run. It implies that you're done. It implies that, they were doing it for a while, now they're done. We're gonna get new writers. It seems to me like this wasn't supposed to be information that he was saying. It just kind of slipped out and he didn't correct himself. But now it's kind of out there. We kind of know that we're probably getting new writers for the Sonic series. And if Ken Pontac is leaving, then Warren Graff is also probably leaving. They've worked on the series together ever since Colors, and they've been doing it for all the games up until, I think, TSR was their last game that they wrote for. But now it seems like they're done. And it kind of makes sense why Roger Craig Smith might have been let go, and these writers might have been let go. The Sonic fans haven't been the nicest to them. There's a large portion of the community that does not like Roger Craig Smith's voice and take on Sonic, and kind of me included. I feel like while it has grown on me, I didn't really like it as much, but I especially did not like the writing for the recent Sonic games. I feel like that combined with Roger's voice just made it like a sour taste in my mouth. I feel like Roger does a pretty good voice and a pretty good characterization of Sonic, but the lines he was given were just awful. So while Roger Craig Smith leaving is a little bit bittersweet because he's been with it for so long, he's been a pretty cool guy to the community, and he's done a pretty decent job over the years. The writers leaving, I am a little bit, how you would say, happy about that. I'm sure they're fine people. I'm sure they've worked on stuff besides Sonic that has been pretty good, but thank fucking God they're not working on this series anymore. Oh my God. I will never forgive them for what they did to my boy Tails. They, in Sonic Adventure 1, Tails fights Chaos 4. That is the upgraded version of Chaos with 4 Chaos Emeralds, way more powerful, and he takes him on single-handedly. Then we go to Sonic Forces, where Tails is tinkering with a robot, I think it was Gamma or something, they don't really explain it, and then he has to fight Chaos Zero, the way less powerful version of Chaos, and he cowers his head and he says, "Sonic, help me!" That doesn't make sense. He's already fought Chaos 4. I'm the only person who cares about this, I'm sorry. Plot holes in my Sonic game? Yeah, I have really not liked how the characters have been handled in the mainline games for a while. They feel like cardboard cutouts of their previous selves. And I believe in an interview with Ken Pontac and Warren Graff ages ago when they were first hired to work on the series, they admitted that they don't know anything about Sonic. And I can tell. They wrote Sonic and the characters as almost like a Saturday morning cartoon, kind of a generic cast where it's like, Sonic is the generic good guy, Tails is the generic sidekick, Knuckles is also the generic sidekick, but a little more hard-headed, Amy is the girl. It's like, they didn't write the characters, they just wrote the stereotypes and then applied it to the characters. Anyways, that's a little bit of a tangent, just going off on how they've done these characters in the series. But we gotta look at the good stuff. We are getting probably new writers, and we're getting a new voice too. While I did come to appreciate Roger Craig Smith's performance a little more over time, a new voice is definitely exciting. I can think of quite a few people who could do a good Sonic voice and would be perfect for the role. Like, many people have been speculating that Ryan Drummond could come back. He still does some fan projects, he still really likes Sonic, and it seems like he would be down to try and come back on the main series, which would be really cool, and it could potentially mean maybe getting a Sonic Adventure remake, because that was the first game that he voiced Sonic in, so that would be kind of neat. Some people are also speculating that Ben Schwartz could come in and do the voice of Sonic in the games as well as the movie, kind of bridging the gap between the two and sort of making it into like one entity, which I'm kind of against. I don't know. It's a weird. I like movie Sonic. I liked the Sonic movie itself, but I kind of liked it because it was a separate thing, and I knew that it was not gonna tread into the game territory, because I like the movie and I like the game for different reasons. Of course, it could just be that they get Ben Schwartz and it still is like the game universe and everything like that's the same. It's just the voices are the same, which I would be okay with. I feel like Ben Schwartz does a pretty good Sonic voice. However, I feel like we're gonna get a new voice. I feel like it just doesn't feel like Sega would go in the direction of going backwards to get Ryan Drummond, or even really, trying to tie the movie and the game universes together. I feel like they like to keep that separate, at least that's the vibe I get. So I would imagine they're just gonna spring for someone new to voice Sonic, to kind of usher in a new era of Sonic, which I'll get into in a moment. But personally, I want Max Middleman. I think he would do a great job. He voiced Ryuji in Persona 5, and you've probably seen the tweet. They put the picture of Sonic with the voice clips, and it just works. It works really well.
Yo, hey, got here as fast as I could. Okay, piece of cake. Yeah. All right, I was just looking for something to do. No sweat. I was tired of waiting. Time to go wild. I'm behind that. All right, let's go.
As for the writing, though, I would be ecstatic if they got back Shiro Mikawa to work on the stories, work on the writing for new Sonic games. Now, if you don't know who Shiro Mikawa is, he used to be a writer at Sega on the Sonic games, and he has written some of the best Sonic stories to date. Just to list off a couple of my favorite stories from him, he worked on Sonic Adventure 2, worked on Heroes, he worked on Black Knight, which is my favorite Sonic story out of any of the games. The gameplay is kind of bad, but the story is really good. And Shiro Mikawa has said that he would be down to come back to Sonic, come back and write for the games, which would be amazing, because he's someone who actually knows these characters. He literally wrote for SA2. He wrote for Sonic Adventure. He would know about the backstories of these characters and how they act and how they should act, at least, and is also really talented at coming up with some unique scenarios. I mean, Sonic and the Black Knight is definitely not something you see from an everyday platformer, where they go into the story of the Knights of the Round Table, and it worked out amazingly. We got a really good story out of that game, so I would be thrilled to see him come back. But you know what would also be an interesting direction? This is one I've seen a lot online. They got Ian Flynn to start writing for the games. Ian Flynn is the writer for the Sonic the Hedgehog comic series. He's been doing it with Archie for a while, and then the Archie comics ended. Then he's back on the IDW comics, and he just does a phenomenal job. He's another guy who just knows these characters really well, is super good at writing them and creating interesting scenarios for them in the comics with, like, not to get into IDW spoilers or anything, but like the Zombot arc and with, you know, Neo Metal Sonic coming back, like that was all fantastic stuff, super cool for longtime fans like me to read, because the comics really are for hardcore fans, I would say. And if we could get some of that in the mainline series, that would be really cool. It kind of feels like wishful thinking, because again, I don't necessarily think Sega would go that route of hiring people who they have hired in the past, or people who work on other aspects of the series, but I'm really hoping they do, specifically with the writing. I wouldn't want to take a chance on some new person who might not know what they're doing or how to really create a fun, good Sonic story. So I would hope that they go back, get Shiro Mikawa, or Ian Flynn, or both. That would be interesting, I guess. That would be neat. But the point I'm making this video, and to go back to the point of me saying they're ushering in a new era of Sonic, I feel like these changes are spelling out something way bigger for the series. The last time we had a big writing and voice change was with Sonic Colors, which was a huge shift in direction for the series as a whole. We got this gameplay style that was unique. They introduced the Wisps, which were like a pretty big part of the past 10 years, which I'm not super fond of. I think the Wisps are cool, but I don't really like them in every single game. The tone of the series shifted, obviously, with the new writers. It felt like that was a pivot in direction for that a while, but I feel like now we're gonna hit another pivot. After Forces didn't do that great critically, and people were like, it's fine, it's not that great of a Sonic game, I feel like Sega took that criticism and are now thinking of a way to revitalize Sonic, and they could be doing a new gameplay style to go with these other changes to really almost reboot the series. Now, I don't think they're gonna do like an actual reboot, like, you know, start from the very beginning, be like, hi, I'm Sonic, I'm 12 years old, I don't know. I think it'll be more like a soft reboot, where it's like a new story, you know, you see Sonic, you get to know the characters a little bit better now, and kind of reintroduce them while they still have their past memories. You know, Tails remembers Adventure 1 and 2, Knuckles remembers what happened in Heroes and stuff. You know, it's not like they're forgetting about everything, it's just a good way to reintroduce them to the franchise and to new people who might have entered the series with the movie, or with some of the more recent games that don't do a really great job of telling you why Sonic is friends with Tails, why Knuckles hangs out with them, why is Amy there? If we find out who the next Sonic voice is before we find out about the game, I feel like that could tell us a lot about the direction that they're going in. If they get someone new, we can kind of assume that it will be a new direction. They're going to try and change things up with the series and go, like I was saying, usher in that new era. But if they get Ryan Drummond back, we can kind of assume Adventure Remake, possibly maybe working on an Adventure 3, going back to their roots type thing. And if they bring in Ben Schwartz, we can kind of assume that they're going to be tying the movie and the games together a little bit. Personally, I'm hoping for that new era. I don't want Sega to go back and tread on old ideas, and I want the movie to stay separate, so I think evolving the series would be the right thing to do, and really going in a new direction rather than trying to do one of the other two options. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. I am very interested to see what this 30th anniversary holds. I have a feeling that this year might be the year of adventure remakes, and then once those are done, we could see the big shift, and you know, we get maybe in a couple years we see the next mainline Sonic game with the new voices and with you know, the new story, new writers, that sort of thing. But let me know what you guys thought of this video down in the comments below, what you've been thinking about all this news, if you are losing your mind like me because you just want any kind of Sonic news, all of that down below. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Peace.